Born into the heart of Rome's political dynasty, Agrippina the Younger was destined for a life of power and intrigue. In the year 15 AD, Agrippina was born into the celebrated Julio-Claudian dynasty, a family renowned for its political prowess and influence in Rome. Her parents, Germanicus and Agrippina the Elder, were key figures within the imperial court, their actions shaping the course of the empire itself. From an early age, Agrippina was immersed in this world of power and politics. Her childhood was spent within the grand halls of the imperial court, surrounded by the whispers of intrigue and the machinations of those vying for control. These early experiences would craft her into a shrewd and calculating woman, capable of navigating the treacherous waters of Rome's political landscape with finesse. Little did Rome know, this young girl would grow to become one of the most formidable women in its history. Agrippina's life was far from peaceful, marked by exile, marriages, and the constant struggle for power. When she was just a girl, Emperor Tiberius, a man known for his paranoia and cruelty, banished her to the remote island of Pandateria. It was a harsh existence, with the young Agrippina separated from the luxuries and privileges of Roman society. Yet, even in exile, she was not forgotten. In fact, her first marriage was arranged during this time to a man named Gnaeus Domitius Ahenobarbus. He was a powerful figure, a patrician of high rank, and their union would yield a son, a boy who would become one of Rome's most notorious emperors. This boy was Nero. However, Ahenobarbus was a cruel man, and their marriage was far from a happy one. After his death, Agrippina found herself a widow and a single mother. But she was not one to be easily defeated. She married again, this time to a wealthy and influential man named Crispus Passienus. Her fortunes began to change when Tiberius, her tormentor, passed away. Agrippina was allowed to return to Rome, where she quickly rose through the ranks of Roman society. Her marriages had given her wealth, her son offered the promise of future power, and her own ambition drove her ever forward. Yet despite her rising status, Agrippina was not content. She had tasted power, and she yearned for more. She was the daughter of a great general, the sister of an emperor, the mother of a future emperor. But she wanted a title of her own. She wanted to be more than just a mother, a sister, a daughter. She wanted to be an empress. And so Agrippina began to plot, to scheme, to manipulate the world around her in order to achieve her goal. She was a woman in a man's world, but she was determined to make her mark. But her ambition was far from satisfied. She had her eyes on the ultimate prize, the throne of Rome. Agrippina's path to power was paved with cunning, manipulation, and even murder. A statement as chilling as the woman herself. Agrippina the Younger didn't just marry into power, she seized it, held it, and wielded it with an iron grip that would leave an indelible mark on the annals of Roman history. Marriage to Emperor Claudius was not just a union of two individuals, but a strategic alliance that catapulted Agrippina to the pinnacle of Roman society. Claudius, besotted by her charm, was all too willing to be led by his ambitious wife. He even adopted her son from a previous marriage, Nero, making him heir to the throne over his own biological son. Many whispered that Claudius's sudden and unexpected death was not the result of natural causes, but rather the machinations of his scheming wife. Rumors swirled of poison, of a sinister plot, and at the heart of it all was Agrippina. While we may never know the truth, the convenient timing of Claudius's demise was enough to raise eyebrows in the court and beyond. With Claudius out of the picture, Agrippina's son Nero ascended to the throne. But Nero was young, inexperienced, and easily manipulated. It was Agrippina who held the reins of power, ruling the empire from behind the scenes. She was the puppeteer, Nero the puppet. For a time it seemed as though Agrippina had achieved her ultimate goal, to rule Rome. Yet, the Roman court was a treacherous place, filled with intrigue and danger. Agrippina was not the only one with ambitions, and her power did not go unchallenged. Her influence over Nero began to wane as he grew older and more independent. As he asserted his authority, Agrippina's grip on power began to slip, setting the stage for a tragic and dramatic downfall. In her quest for power, Agrippina had climbed to the top, but the price was high. For Agrippina, power was not just a means to an end, but an end in itself. And in the ruthless world of Roman politics, she would pay the ultimate price for her ambitions. Even at the height of power, the fall can be swift and brutal. And so it was for Agrippina, the woman who had deftly navigated the treacherous waters of Roman politics, only to be undone by her own son Nero. Agrippina's relationship with Nero began to sour soon after he ascended the throne. As Nero grew older, he yearned for independence from his mother's controlling influence. The tension between them escalated into open conflict, leading to a dramatic falling out. Agrippina, once the puppet master, found herself increasingly sidelined, her influence waning as Nero began to assert his authority. In this power struggle, Agrippina found herself on the losing side. Nero, now confident in his rule, sought to remove his mother from the picture entirely. He embarked on a campaign to discredit her, tarnishing her reputation with scandalous accusations of treason and adultery. But Nero didn't stop there. In a shocking turn of events, he ordered the murder of his own mother. The news of Agrippina's death sent shockwaves through Rome. It was a scandal of epic proportions, the likes of which had never been seen before. A mother murdered by her own son, a Roman emperor no less. The city was in uproar, the populace aghast at the audacity of Nero's act. In the end, Agrippina's ambition proved her undoing. She had clawed her way to the pinnacle of power, only to be thrown down by the very person she had placed there. But even in death, Agrippina left her mark. Her influence had shaped the Roman Empire, and her legacy proved far more enduring than her life. In the end, Agrippina's ambition proved her undoing, but her legacy was far from over. Despite her fall, Agrippina's influence on Rome was profound and enduring. Born into the heart of power, she was no stranger to the games of politics and control. She was a woman who wielded her influence with skill and acumen, leaving a mark on the Roman Empire that would echo through the ages. During her lifetime, Agrippina's impact was palpable. She was the first woman to be incorporated into the coinage of the Roman Empire, an honor that showcased her power and influence. Her political savvy, cunning, and ambition were instrumental in shaping the course of Rome. She was a guiding force behind the throne, subtly directing the affairs of the state and ensuring her interests were always at the forefront. Perhaps her most significant influence was on her son Nero. Under her tutelage, Nero ascended to the Roman throne, marking the beginning of a reign that would forever be etched in history. She molded him into a ruler, shaping his views and policies, and in doing so, indirectly shaped the fate of the Roman Empire. However, Agrippina's portrayal in ancient sources is not without controversy. Her ambition and ruthlessness were often vilified, painting her as a power-hungry woman who would stop at nothing to secure her position. Yet one cannot deny the strength and resilience she displayed in navigating the treacherous waters of Roman politics. Throughout history, Agrippina has been remembered in various ways. To some, she is a symbol of power, a woman who dared to challenge the status quo in a man's world. To others, she is a figure of scandal and intrigue, her name synonymous with the darker side of power and ambition. Yet regardless of the perspective, Agrippina's legacy remains undeniable. Agrippina the Younger, a woman of ambition, power, and scandal, left an indelible mark on the history of ancient Rome. Agrippina's life serves as a stark reminder of the power and peril of ambition. A woman born into tumult and turmoil, she navigated the treacherous waters of ancient Rome with a resilience that could only be matched by her ambition. She was a woman who dared to dream, dared to strive, and dared to defy the conventions of her time. But her story also serves as a cautionary tale. Her relentless pursuit of power led her down a path of scandal and intrigue, ultimately resulting in her downfall. And yet, even in her darkest hours, Agrippina remained unbroken, her spirit undeterred. Her life is a testament to the double-edged sword that is ambition. It can propel us to great heights, but it can also lead us astray. And while her actions may have been questionable, her courage and determination were undeniably extraordinary. She was a woman who dared to seize power in a man's world, and for that, she will forever be remembered.